Hello and welcome to GBR. You find us today racing with the guys from the MRC in the GTTCC Season 21. This is round 4, race 1 for the elite drivers. As you can see, we are at St. Croix. This is the B layout in reverse, so not a very common track in this layout anyway. Normally we do it in the forward way. So after 10 minutes of qualifying, the Crow has put it on pole. In second place we have Mark. In third place we have ADG. In fourth place we have Eugenio. In fifth place we have Staffy. In sixth place we have Ginge. In seventh we have Bazza. Change of car, it looks like, for Bazza. I don't know if we'll be able to see him on track. Quite a dull orange on that one. In eighth place we have a guest driver, Infinity James. You've seen him in other races I've covered, racing for Team Karcher and Give a Duck Foundation. In ninth place we have Golden Brownie, and in 10th we have Maya. So 10 drivers for this round. Let's get these guys underway for half an hour round St. Croix. 5 lights and it's away we go. 2 Genesis getting off the line, or 3 Genesis at the front there, getting off the line really well compared to AGG in that VW. Seems to have struggled off the line, does the FF cars, as we're going into turn 1 already. Crow there holding on to the lead ahead of Mark. Eugenio's jumped up to third place. Jin just got ahead of ADG for 4th. ADG down to 5th place. Staffy in 6th. Bazza there in 7th. He's already got Maya in the fast starting Genesis in 8th place there. James there in 9th. Golden, there was quite a lot of cutting there at the back. James there in 9th. Golden in 10th. Yeah, them 3 all got penalties for cutting that right-hander at the S's in the first sector. But Crow and Mark there have already got themselves well over a second gap between third place. And Mark's there going to go for the move as he up towards this long left at the end of this back straight. It looks like he's going to get that move done as we're coming through, but Crow there hanging it around the outside, not going to let Mark have that one, and keeps that position. Nicely defended there from the Crow. Looked like he was on the back foot coming in, but still come out on top. That's close for Mark. He somehow didn't hit the barrier coming onto the bridge, didn't get any damage, so he's going to still be in the Crow's slipstream. Eugenio there third. Staffy and Ginge, they're going to go side by side as they come off the bridge onto this left-hander. It's tricky left-hander. There's a bump there. No, Ginge has gone for the move on Eugenio there, and didn't work out. Ginge went a little bit too deep coming into the left-hander. It's going to allow Eugenio to step away. ADG there, they're going to go side by side. Staffy's going to make it 3 wide. Is he? No, he's not. He's going to back out of that one, but ADG's gone for the move now on Ginge, and looks like he's got that one done. He's working his way back up the field now, is ADG, after the slow start off the line for that FF car. Staffy there and Bazza both in the Mazda 3s in 6th and 7th. I don't know if Bazza would have got a penalty there. Yes, he did. It looked like he was quite close to the green coming around that last corner. James, Maya and Golden, after they've served their penalties now, have just dropped off the back end of the main pack. Bit of a gap between them, but at the front, Crow and Mark still battling for this first place and pulling away from Eugenio there in third. who's got a little bit of a gap now between him and ADG there in 4th place. But ADG, I think, obviously will be trying to catch up to Juninho. I'm not too sure on tyres, softs all around. Juninho's got mediums on the front. Seems to be a trait from Juninho just to have a harder compound on the front. Basil there, he's got the mediums on the front. Probably not too much testing in the Mazda. So don't want to wear them front tyres out. Seeing that Staffy's gone softs as well on the front for his car. Yeah, everyone else on the softs. So it's only going to be Juninho and Bazza to potentially watch out later on in the race if these tyres do start to wear out. And the softs, there will be the overlap between the softs and the mediums. But Crow there keeping just ahead of Mark. These two really just need to work together, just try and open up that gap to Juninho there in 3rd. We've still got 24 minutes left of the race. There's no point trying to fight it too early on. But Mark there, is he going to have a look around the outside or go for the old switcheroo? He had Crow going in deep, but Crow's been able to keep ahead of Mark there. But Juninho, he has been caught now from ADG. So the Scirocco putting in a blistering 2nd lap at the moment. As you can see, it's 2.5 minutes for a lap round it, or just under. So plenty of time per lap to gain and lose. But ADG looks like he's going to go for the move as he up towards the last corner. He was underneath the wing of Juninho, but just can't seem to get that move done as they come onto the start-finish straight for the 2nd time. Staffy there just watching. He's got past Ginge and set the fastest lap of the race so far, 21.8. James there, it's Mayer and Bazza after Bazza served that 1 second penalty for cutting the track. He's now dropped down to 8th place with Mayer right behind him in the Genesis Golden Brownie. He's just dropped off the back obviously since that 1st lap penalty and just seems to have not been able to catch up to the guys in front. But the battling still continues. Ginge there going for a move on Staffy into this left-hander onto the back straight. I don't know if there's a little tap there between the two of them. It looks like Ginger's pulled over to the side to let Staffy back past. Didn't want any issues with the stewards, so just let the car back past. But that's allowed Infinity James there in the Audi TT, sponsored by Karcher, to close up to the rear end of these two. Not too sure how the TT is going. I don't think there's many in any of the divisions. Obviously must be comfortable driving that one. Ooh, slight tap there from Ginge on Staffy coming into the right-hander before the bridge, but that's allowed James just to fly past both of these two and already pulling away a little bit from Staffy and Ginge. But there has been a change for 3rd place. Whilst I was watching that, I did see it happen. ADG must have got a good drive coming off onto the back straight and has just been able to get in front of Juninho and not let Juninho get back past. So we'll jump back to where we were. And ADG's been able to keep that position as they come across the bridge. So hopefully he'll be able to put his eyes forward and focus on Mark. Up ahead, about a second or so between 2nd and 3rd at the moment, and then quite a big gap between Juninho and James. But obviously James has worked his way from 8th place on the grid. I know he did drop back to 10th to just to the FF, just not been able to get the power down as well as other cars off the line. But doing well so far is James. Staffy there, 6th place, just ahead of Ginge in 7th. Bazza there, he's been able to open up a little bit of a gap to Mayer this lap round. Golden Brownie doing a bit of grass cutting there on a straight. Don't know if that's a quick line or not. I can see some movement up ahead. Ooh, ADG's got a 1 second penalty, is that? Have a look, yes it is. So that's going to drop him when he serves it. Where is the penalty line? I think it's just before the last corner. So if he can keep ahead of Juninho, then he will drop behind. But Genius had a good drive coming out the first corner. He's been able to get back past ADG. So ADG's just going to lose his time, and I don't think he'll drop too far. He might drop into the clutches of James, but I think he's far enough ahead at the moment to not worry about James behind. Staffy and Ginge, they still having a good old battle for 6th and 7th place. And looks like Bazza, Mayer, and looks like Golden's caught up to the rear end of these three now. These two, so it's making a three-way battle for 8th as well. So not all has been lost at the back of the pack. It was still fairly close. What are they? About 10 seconds between first and last at the moment. Obviously, with penalties being issued, it's not too bad after nearly 10 minutes of racing. But Crow there still leading the way ahead of Mark there in second. Mark's probably trying to figure out where the Crow is weakest and probably make a pounce on him later on in the race, because Mark's got tiny bit better tyre as well on that front right than Crow. Genia though still ahead of ADG as ADG's coming up to this penalty line, but James has had an absolute flyer of a lap. He really has caught up, it looks like, to ADG. So will ADG come into contact with James once he serves the penalty? Let's him on the roof of the TT as ADG's coming up to this penalty line. There we go, you can see him slowing down. Will James there go for the move? Yes, he will. James will go. It did look like he was going to back out of that one, but gets himself up to 4th place, has James. So absolutely flying up the field at the moment. Looks like ADG had a good drive coming out of that last corner and has been able to go side by side with James down towards turn 1. Looks like he's just got ahead. Yes, he has. Wish the cameraman would pick up that move a little bit earlier and move further forward on the track, but James isn't giving this position up anytime soon. He's going to fight with ADG for this 4th spot, but obviously it's allowed now Jahinio just to check out in front of these two. Oh, just realised we've had a change for the lead. Where did this happen? I was focusing on grabbing quite a bit of time ago. So what happened here between Crow and Mark? As we're coming up this long left hand up the hill, Crow's gone for a defensive move there, and Mark's just been able to drive right round underneath him and brake a little bit later into the penultimate corner, and that's allowed Mark just now to get into 1st place. So I was thinking he would be waiting for later on in the race to pounce on Crow, but took his opportunity when he could, with Crow defending, and he's been able to get into 1st. Looks like he's going to try and check out fairly early on. He's going to move across to the left. Crow's not going to go for that move, and get that slipstream, so he's going to stay there in 2nd place. So we'll just jump back to where we were around here. Before I had to jump back to see that overtake for the lead. Yeah, Jahinio there, he's a little bit lonely there in 3rd place. You can see them up ahead, about 2 seconds to the good is Crow. ADG there in 4th. Obviously did get just past, back past James through turn 1. And they're all going purple in certain sectors, so obviously cars getting that little bit lighter, so that a little bit faster, and we'll see at the end of the race who has got the fast lap. Staffy with a 2 minute 21.870, so that was still the fastest lap from the end of lap 2. No one else has been able to go quicker as of yet. Ginge there in 7th, just staying in contact with Staffy. Mayer there in 8th place. He's been able to pull away from Bazza and Golden. Not too sure if these two have had penalties or both been off track or something, because they have dropped back off from Mayer, going, what was it, 25.9. I don't know, Mayer's done 23. What was their his first lap? Was hard to say because of the grid start. So I don't know what their true lap pace was. But yeah, Mark Crow in first and second at the moment. Oh, James there right up behind ADG as we're coming up to the last corner. James going out wide to make the corner as straight as he could and as fast as he could just to get the drive. See if he can get past ADG towards the first corner. He looked like he's pulled to the left hand side. No, he's pulled back in behind ADG. He's obviously not confident enough to go for the move. Don't look like he was close enough anyway, so that TT may be struggling a little bit on top end speed to try and get the move done. ADG is not going to be in the slipstream of Eugenio up ahead. Too much of a gap between them. He's come through this Essex section. It's quite a tricky section because there's a bump mid corner on the first double right, which can unsettle the car quite a bit depending on what car you're in. I know it was tricky for me in the Ferrari to just unsettle it, and back end had wanted to step out. Staffy and Ginge, they're back on the fight for 6th place. Is Ginge going to try and go for the move? Obviously we know the Mazda is strong in a straight line, and Ginge trying to warm up his tyres, not too sure why. You're already 13 minutes into the race. Or is it just trying to distract Staffy, make him look left as we're coming into the braking zone? It looks like it's not worked this time around. Staffy's defending as we're coming onto this right-hander onto the bridge. On lap 6, Ginge there looked like he get a good drive. He's pulled just to the rear quarter panel of the Mazda, but the Mazda just with that little bit of top end speed over the Genesis has been able to just stay ahead as we come across the bridge onto this left-hander with another little bump there, which can unsettle the car, and obviously that barrier comes in close and quickly on the exit of the left-hander there. But you can see on the track map there, Mayer, Baza and Golden. There's a little bit of a gap between them. Mayer, oh, he's got damage on the front right. That's probably from that bump I was talking about. This has come off here. Yep, there you go. Smashed itself into the barrier, and that's giving him damage and slowed him coming up that hill, and that's allowed Baza to get back in front of him for that 8th place. Golden in 10th. Yeah, Mark looks like he's trying to check out from the Crow at the moment. Let's see what this lap time is. A 2 minute 22.0, 2 minute 22.2, 22.6 and 3. So yeah, he's pulled about 9/10 over Crow since the overtake, I believe, or was that on lap 20, lap 4? Might have been on lap 4 actually, because there was a second between them. So yeah, he's pulled out a good second and a bit now over Crow. Gino there, he's about the same distance behind as well from Crow. So these three all nicely separated by just about over a second at the moment. ADG there, he's got James right behind him. He's not too far really behind Gino. Looks like they are catching, yeah, 21.8 to a 22.4. So he caught 6/10 did ADG on that last lap. So clearly not fighting with James and trying to work towards that 3rd spot on the podium. Eugenio there, 3/10 purple this time round through sector 2. Staffy and Ginge. Ooh, Staffy's got a 1 second penalty. That dropped him out this battle with Ginge that he's having since pretty much the start of the race, it seems, between these two. But Staffy's gone out wide, out of that long left for the bridge. And now he's slipped in behind Ginge, so he's going to drop probably out of the slipstream of Ginge once he serves this penalty in a couple of corners time. Mayer and Golden Brown. Mayer's got a penalty. What's happened with Baza? He's got front left damage and going very slowly. Ooh, was there a bump between any of these drivers as we coming onto this right-hander. Let's have a look from behind. Oh no, just got it on the grass, and that's just sent him into the middle of the track, and then Mayer and Golden had to try to avoid Bazza. Yeah, Golden's got front right damage. Mayer got away with nothing, but he's got a 1 second penalty, which will drop him back behind Golden when he serves it. So unfortunate there for Bazza coming onto the bridge, but it looks like the car is not turning as it would like to. So we're just going to have to pull over and try and coast it back to the pits, maybe to get it repaired. See what the pit crew think of that one. That Mark here out in first place. Once he's got past Crow, he's just checked out. He's going for this win. We've still got 13 and a bit minutes to go. But at the moment, I would say that Mark's on a very good run at the moment for this win here for round 4, race 1. Eugenio there, he has been caught by ADG, who's gone fastest out of everyone, 2:21.589 to Eugenio, so yeah, nearly a second quicker between the two. I think that would be the medium tyres just not working as Eugenio would like. And being caught by ADG, and obviously ADG's bringing James with him. Obviously there's 4 attempts difference the last lap, but James definitely in the toe of the Scirocco in front of him as we come around this back straight once again. Is ADG going to be close enough to go for a move? Doesn't think he's going to be for this long left-hander. Maybe trying to set himself up for the left at the end of the bridge section. If he can get a good drive out of this corner here and slip into Eugenio's slipstream. But James there, he's going to be there just to pounce on any little incident between these two. You know, one of them run a little bit deep, or they bump into each other and slow down a little bit. James will be there just to pounce straight on by, just like he did with Staffy and Ginge a few laps ago. But ADG couldn't go for the move there on that left-hander, so he's going to have to think about where he can get past Eugenio and try and get that third spot on the podium. Ginge there in 6th place. He's got a little bit of a gap now to Staffy, who's really burnt through that front tyre. What's James's? Yeah, James and AGG are looking good on their softs, both FF cars, and Staffy absolutely cooking his front right tyre, leaving the front left probably more worn, I think, than the front right of James's and ADG's. I'm not too sure on Bazza. Looks like Bazza did come into the pit. Yeah, he's on an outlap, so changed to the softs, got the car repaired, and away he goes. Probably try and go and set that fastest lap of the race now that he's on them soft tyres. But unfortunately there for Bazza, it looks like he's going to more than likely wind up 10th place, but it'll be first for the second race, so not all is lost there. But coming into the final 10 minutes of the race there, Eugenio, ADG and James, this is where the battle really is for this last spot on the podium between these 3 drivers, all 3 different manufacturers as well. So good to see that the Genesis isn't being as dominant as it was at the first race of the season. No one going for the move there. They're all very close. I thought someone might have gone for a late dive into that long left-hander, but just still staying in behind Eugenio. But different lines there coming through that right-hander onto the bridge. Gaps opened up a tiniest fraction, half a car length between Eugenio and AGG. James there, he's sticking right to that rear bumper of the Scirocco. As we came across that bridge on this left-hander, James there seems to take a different line, maybe trying to get on the power a little bit earlier to slingshot himself up this hill. It doesn't seem much of a hill, but it really is. If you get that corner wrong at the bottom, you really are a good couple of mile an hour slower when you get to the top. But they're all staying in line at the moment. AG goes out wide. Will he pick up a penalty for that one? I think he was just still on the red and white curbing, maybe just on the slight section of Astro as well. You can see they're all using that entry curb on the right hand side to open up that final corner as best they can. And it looks like Crow has been able to catch up to Mark up ahead. Yeah, Mark done a 23.4 and Crow done a 22.0, so 1.5 seconds pretty much gained on the last lap. So not too sure if Mark had a penalty. That's just dropped him into the clutches of Crow, so it's not all over for Crow after he had that little mishap through that long left up the hill. But he's definitely got Crow now with his full attention on the rear end of the other Genesis in this race. Just go through. Ginge there in 6th, Staffy there in 7th, them two. Bit of a gap between them. Mayer there and Golden Brownie still going around fairly close together for 8th and 9th place. And Buzzer there in 10th. Obviously trying to go for the fastest lap of the race with their nice fresh softs. ADG, he's still got the fastest lap of the race. He's got past Eugenio now. How did he do this one? I literally just stepped away as he's gone for the move. Come on, Eugenio. Eugenio's gone to the right. He's given ADG the inside line coming up to this long left. But looked like ADG had the speed advantage just to power on past the Genesis there of Eugenio and get himself up to 3rd place. And James there seems to have just dropped off the back end of these two. And they aren't too far ahead. Let's jump on board. Look, you can see ADG can see 1st place just there up ahead of him. He's going purple again, and you can see there in the mirror Eugenio looking on the inside, but where is he now? Look in that top mirror. You can see him there just behind as we're coming up this hill. If there's a little break of battling, I will try and give a lap guide. It looks like there might jump on with Mark. There, he's gone into the wall once again. It's allowed Golden Brownie just to slip on past as they're going up the hill. You can see there, 100, 105, so yeah, 5 mile an hour just by hitting the wall that he's lost going up this hill. But I'll just quickly look back. Yeah, right, let's jump on board with Mark for a lap guide. We'll do it from helmet cam for this one as we start lap 11. Coming up to this left-hander, braking at the curbing there on the right-hand side, hitting that inside apex. Don't want to run wide because you will get on the grass and maybe tap the ball. You can see that rear view mirror there, just by the steering wheel of Crow behind, and then we come into the SS section. Here's the bump right now. In the Genesis, that seems absolutely nothing compared to the Ferrari, but nice S's section there for Mark as we come into this left-hander, into the shadows. Quite hard to sometimes pick your brake marker to get it right. Crow there on the ragged edge coming onto this back straight with a little kink. So don't really know if you can call it a straight, but you are flat out through it. You don't even really have to think about lifting in any car in GT7. And then we come up to the long left here. And at the end of this back straight, it's very tricky to know exactly when to put the power down. Like they're revving the 3rd gear on the exit and then into this right-hander onto the bridge. You just don't want to go out wide and do what Bazza done. I think is the only one that's been victim in this race of that wall. And now across the bridge, I'll get over to the right hand side for this left-hander with the bump on the entry to it. There we go, there's that bump again. Genesis seems to ride it very nicely, and then up this hill through another little S's section again, and it looks like, can't see it at all because the wing on this Genesis is huge. It looks like Crow and AG are close together, but onto this right hander now, on towards this little straight before the final corner. We have a little left hand kink there, through the penalty gates we go. I will jump back to Crow and HG after this last corner from Mark here. You can cut as much of this green as you can. Yeah, he gets about half a car over the green, and that is a lap at St. Croix B reverse. Thank you, Mark, for the lap ride. But yeah, the battle for second place hots up now. Crow seem to have this one in the bag, but he's allowed ADG to catch up to him and now get past, but ADG's got that 1 second penalty, so unless ADG can have an absolute lap from the gods, I don't think he's going to be able to stay in second place. So let's just have a jump on board with ADG, because you can see, let's go from helmet cam again from this one, how it looked like this bump really unsettled this VW compared to what it did with the Genesis. Yeah, there you go. A lot more twitchier than the Genesis was. Could just be with it being the front wheel drive car, but yeah, definitely that bump really does affect some cars and less on others. But I honestly think if ADG had a better off the line car, because Mark's been doing 22s pretty consistently, let's say. ADG, he's been into the 21s a good couple of times there, 4 times over the last 10 laps, and obviously been battling with other guys as well, and still being 21s and 22s. So I do think if ADG didn't have the penalties and the battling with other guys, he would have been able to eventually walk away with a win. But it looks like he's going to be fighting for second place with Crow, because it looks like we'll be coming on to the final lap in a minute. James there isn't too far behind in 5th place from this group up ahead. Ginge there in 6th, all a bit on his own, same as Staffy, Golden Brownie and Mayer still going at it for this 8th place. Golden Brownie just staying ahead of Mayer in that Genesis. As we come across the bridge, Golden Brownie going as defensive as he can down towards the left-hander, but I will have to jump back to the battle at the front, because this is for the podium positions. Mark there, he's got a nice little gap now over the Crow. With ADG serving that penalty, he's dropped himself back down to 4th place as we're going to come round the final corner to start the last lap, because we've got just over a minute to go. So it looks like Bazza will finish in 10th place, because the other guys have only got 1 corner to go, Golden Brownie and Mayer. So as I say, on to the final lap of the race. Mark's tyres there, better front left than he has than the Crow, but the front right is pretty much exactly the same. Crow there, he's really on a charge. What was the lap time? 7 tenths quicker from the Crow than it was Mark, and there isn't much time between them now as we're coming on to this, as we are on this last lap. Genia goes out wide, that's going to give him dirty tyres and a lack of speed down this back straight. He's going to try and slip into ADG's slipstream as best he can, but that's going to gift ADG that 3rd place, and if ADG doesn't pick up another penalty, he could get a podium from starting, I think it was 3rd anyway, so done well to get back up to where he started. But it looks like Mark has been able to just weather that storm from the Crow at the beginning part of this lap, as we have only 5 seconds left of the race time. And Juninho, with dirty tyres again, he's gone off the track, and that's given James 4th place. So Juninho's gone from a podium position down to 5th place, all within half a lap. And I'm sure his pit crew are absolutely livid with that one. Gin's there in 6th place. He's been doing some decent lap times, just obviously just fell off early on. Same as Staffy. Mate and Golden Brownie there, 8th and 9th. Bazza there, he will finish in 10th place. But as we come through the penultimate corner, Mark there, he's still just ahead of Crow. Will Crow be close enough to go for a move into the final corner? Mark there went out wide through that left-hand kink, but I think he's just done enough, has Mark, to win the first race of round 4. Crow is mighty fine close to the rear end of him, but Mark will come across to win first race. Crow second. AGG will finish in 3rd. Juninho will finish in 4th. How did Juninho get ahead of James there? As we're coming up through to the final corner, James hasn't got a penalty. But Juninho there, smashed James into the wall on the exit. I don't know if the stewards will look into that one for any contact there. But Juninho 4th, James will finish 5th. Ginge will finish in 6th place. Staffy will come home in 7th. Maya and Golden Brownie. Golden Brownie just smashed himself into the wall as well. Probably trying to get in the power a bit too early, but Maya will finish in 8th place and Golden Brownie in 9th. Thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, hit that like button, and until next time, bye bye.